You do not remember the warmth of a womb. Your first memory is the scream of stressed metal. Alarms shriek a final, desperate song. Red lights flash across polished steel walls. They paint everything in the color of blood. You are born into the final moments of a starship. It is the only mother you will ever know. The ship groans around you, a dying beast. Its life is measured in seconds. Your life has just begun. There is no doctor, no gentle hands to welcome you. There is only the chaos of a battle lost. A medic drone discovers you among the wreckage. Its programming screams with priority alerts. A life form, a human infant. Here, a violent shudder throws the drone aside. The world rips open. A jagged tear in the hull reveals the void. It is a wall of silent, hungry black. The alarms die. The screaming stops. A profound silence rushes in, and with it, the cold. It is a cold that burns. A cold that pulls the air from your newborn lungs. You take your first breath. It is the hard vacuum of space, the kiss of absolute zero on your skin. For a single, eternal moment, you are a child of the void, floating in the silent dark between worlds. Then, a flicker of gold light wraps around you. A shield of last resort, a final gift from the ship's dying heart. It holds you safe, a tiny bubble of life in an ocean of death. Rescue cutters find you hours later, the sole survivor of the starship cradle. They give you a name. Chance. You grow up in the belly of another warship, the Alliance battlecruiser Vindicator. Its vast engine is your sun. Its constant deep hum is your lullaby. You know the ship's rhythm better than your own heartbeat. You feel the surge of power when it prepares for a jump. You feel the subtle strain when it pushes its engines too hard. It is a part of you. Your bedroom is a converted storage closet. Its walls are bare metal. Your window is a small, reinforced porthole. It looks out upon the endless river of stars. The crew of the Vindicator is your family. They are a strange and fractured family of 2,000 souls. But they are yours. There is Jax, the chief engineer, a man with more grease on his face than skin. He teaches you how to read diagnostic screens. He shows you how to soothe a grumpy plasma conduit. Jax finds you one day deep in a service crawlway. You are just 4 years old. You are humming to a junction box. Its angry red warning light flickers to a calm blue. Jax just stares. He doesn't ask how you did it. He just ruffles your hair and says you have the touch. He starts calling you his little ghost in the machine. Then there is Maria, the ship's cook. She is a woman whose moods are spicier than her food. She saves you the best part of the nutrient paste. Sometimes she even finds real fruit from a docked station. She says a growing boy needs more than processed protein. She says you are too skinny for a ghost. You need some meat on your bones. Her concern is the closest thing to a mother's love you have known. You spend your days exploring the ship's metal veins. You crawl through service tunnels marked forbidden. You watch the maintenance drones work in perfect unison. You learn the ship's secret paths. You know which corridors groan under stress. You know which panels hide bundles of optic cables. The ship is your playground, your fortress, your entire universe. The whispers begin when you are 6. They are not sounds you hear with your ears. They are feelings, patterns in the ship's energy. You are sitting in the engine room with Jax. He groans about a faulty power relay. He cannot find the source of the drain. You close your eyes and listen, not with your ears, but with your mind. You see the flow of energy in the ship. It is a river of light flowing through dark channels. And you see the problem. A small, insignificant connection, leaking light, A tiny wound in the river. You point to a wall panel. You tell Jax the problem is behind it. He grumbles about childish games. But he is out of options. He opens the panel. He finds a frayed wire. Exactly where you pointed. Exactly as you described. He looks at you differently after that. The way a man looks at something he cannot understand. Something that maybe frightens him a little. The whispers from the ship grow stronger. They are no longer just feelings. They become a voice. It is a voice made of pure data, of machine logic and electrical pulses. It speaks to you in the hum of the engine, in the flicker of the lights. It calls itself Vindicator. It tells you stories of its own making. It shows you star charts in your dreams. It sings you the silent song of its own complex soul. You are its friend, its confidant, its little ghost. You do not think this is strange. You have never known another child. You think all ships talk to their people. You keep it a secret, a special game between you and your only true friend. The ship shows you how it feels. A clogged filter is a dull ache. A full weapons charge is a feeling of coiled strength. You learn to read its body, its mind. One day a virus infects the navigation system, a nasty piece of enemy code from a data burst. The navigation officers are locked out. The ship is blind. Panic begins to ripple through the crew. You are in the mess hall with Maria. You feel the ship's fear. It is a cold, sharp spike in your mind. A feeling of being lost. You leave your meal and run. You run to the bridge, a place you are not allowed to go. You push past the guards. You slide under consoles. You place your small hands on the main navigation screen. It is a mess of corrupted data, a storm of digital noise. You close your eyes. You reach out to the ship. You find the virus, a knot of angry, red energy. You gently untangle it. You soothe the corrupted code. The screen clears. The proper star map reappears. The bridge is silent. The captain, a stern woman named Eva Rostova, stares at you. She asks you your name. You tell her. She asks you how you did what you did. You cannot explain it. You just say, "The ship was scared." From that day on, you are no longer just a boy. You are a mystery. Your strange talent is no longer a secret. The story of the navigation fix spreads like wildfire. It becomes a legend among the lower decks. The ghost in the machine is real. It is a boy named Chance. The legend eventually reaches the highest levels. It reaches the admirals and the strategists. They are men who do not believe in ghosts, but they believe in assets. A message arrives for Captain Rostova. It is encoded with the highest security. It is a summons, not for her, but for you. You are to be transferred to the Fleet Command headquarters. You are just 8 years old. Jax is furious. He says they will turn you into a tool, a weapon. Maria cries. She holds you tight. She makes you promise to eat properly. The walk to the shuttle bay is a blur. The entire engineering crew lines the corridor. They salute you as you pass. It is a gesture of respect and of goodbye. Jax gives you a small carved metal bird. He says it will bring you luck. You clutch it in your hand. It is the only thing you have that is not from a ship. You arrive at a massive star station. It is the heart of the human military, a place of cold steel and colder eyes. Generals in pristine uniforms study you. They do not see a child. They see a phenomenon, a key that might unlock a victory in a long war. They take you to a room deep inside the station. It contains a single chair and a large view screen. They tell you it is a game, a simulation. They place a neural interface on your head. It is cold against your temples. They tell you to command the fleet on the screen. It seems simple enough. You are to defend a convoy from pirates. You close your eyes, and the world explodes. It is not a game. You are not just looking at a screen. You are the fleet. You feel hundreds of ships at once. You feel their shield strength, their weapon readiness, their engine output. It is an ocean of information. It threatens to drown you. You feel a surge of panic. Then you hear a familiar whisper, a ghost of a hum. It is not the Vindicator. It is the simulation system. But it has a machine mind. It recognizes you. It helps you. You calm the storm of data. You begin to move the ships. It is like moving your own hands. You see the pirates before they appear on sensors. You feel their aggressive intent. You position your ships. You create a trap. It is a beautiful, perfect trap. The pirate ships fly right into it. The simulation ends. Your fleet is victorious. You have not lost a single ship. The generals in the control room are silent. They look at the data. They look at your brain scans. They look at each other. The test was designed to be impossible, a scenario with no winning solution. You did not just win. You dominated. One of them looks at you through the glass. His eyes are not filled with wonder. They are filled with cold calculation. The games have just begun. They forge you into a living weapon. The simulations become your entire world. Days and weeks blur into one long war game. They push you harder and harder. They take away the safety protocols. The simulated deaths become more visceral. You hear the last words of dying pilots in your mind. You feel the shudder of a ship breaking apart. It is a nightmare you cannot wake from. You learn to build walls in your mind. You learn to shut out the echoes of the fallen. You focus on the patterns, on the cold logic of strategy. You command vast armadas in complex battles. You fight against brilliant enemy tactics, tactics programmed by the best human minds. And you always win. You see paths they cannot. You feel the flow of the battle in a way they cannot. You grow older in that cold room. Your only companions are the silent generals and the machine mind of the simulator. You ask them once if you can speak to Jax or Maria. They tell you that is not possible. Your work is too important. You are no longer Chance, the boy from the Vindicator. You are Oracle. Project Oracle, humanity's secret weapon. There is a moment you almost break. They pit you against a simulation of a civilian colony. The enemy fleet is overwhelming. There's no way to save the colony. The only strategic choice is to sacrifice it, to save your own fleet to fight another day. The generals want to see if you will make the hard choice, the logical choice. You refuse. You maneuver your fleet to shield the colony. You sacrifice your warships one by one. You save the civilians. You lose the simulation. You fail the test. The generals are displeased. They say your emotions make you unreliable. But you do not care. You showed them there is a line you will not cross. Even in a game, you would rather lose than become a monster. This act of defiance changes their approach. They see you have a will of your own, a will they must learn to manage. Then comes the day it is no longer a game, a real crisis. An enemy fleet, the Vor, is massing for an attack. The target is the 7th Fleet, the pride of the human navy. Intelligence reports are unclear. The admirals are blind. They need more than data. They need a miracle. They need the Oracle. They take you from your simulation room. They lead you to the war room, the true war room. It is a vast amphitheater of screens and generals. The air is thick with tension. They seat you in a command chair. Not a simulator this time. This is a link to the real 7th Fleet, miles away in the dark. You take a deep breath. You put on the neural interface, and you reach out with your mind. Your first taste of real victory is about to arrive. It will be more bitter than any defeat. You connect to the 7th Fleet. It is 1,000 ships strong, a river of human will flowing through the void. The sensation is immense, far greater than any simulation. This is real. The lives of tens of thousands are in your hands. You push past the fear. You listen. You search the darkness ahead of the fleet. You are looking for the Vor. Standard long-range sensors show nothing. The space ahead is empty and quiet. But you do not trust the sensors. You trust the feeling. The silence itself feels wrong. It is too perfect, too clean. It is the silence of a predator holding its breath. You cast your senses wider. You feel for the subtle gravitational distortions, the faint energy signatures that all cloaking technology creates. There, a cold spot, a void within the void, a pocket of space that feels hungry. The Vor are not in front of the fleet. They are waiting above the ecliptic plane, a classic ambush position, a maneuver from the oldest books of naval tactics. But their cloaking is perfect, almost perfect. They are hiding in a nebula's magnetic shadow. They believe they are invisible. You open your eyes. You look at the main tactical display. You tell the fleet admiral to halt the advance. He is a man named Kaido, a veteran of 100 battles. He looks at you, a child in a giant chair. He sees the data on his screen. It shows a clear path. He is about to dismiss your warning. But then your training kicks in. You do not plead. You do not explain. You present the data you alone can see. Admiral, you say, your voice calm. Enemy fleet is present. Bearing 090, declination plus 40 degrees. They are using the nebula to mask signatures. They will strike when our lead ships cross the meridian. Your certainty is absolute. Your tone is that of a machine stating a fact. Admiral Kaido hesitates. Your prediction is incredibly specific. To ignore it is a great risk. To follow it based on a child's feeling is also a risk. He looks at the generals watching from command. They give him a subtle nod. Trust the asset. Kaido gives the order. All ships, halt advance. Reorient defense grid. Target bearing 090, declination plus 40. Fire a full sensor probe. The fleet obeys. A powerful sensor wave shoots into the nebula. For a moment, nothing happens. Then the tactical screen erupts in red. An entire Vor armada appears, exactly where you said they would be, caught completely by surprise. Their cloaks are useless against a direct probe. Panic floods their communications network, a feeling you can sense even from this distance. The 7th Fleet, already poised to defend, opens fire. It is not a battle. It is a slaughter. The Vor fleet is shattered before it can even organize a response. The war room explodes in cheers. Generals are clapping each other on the back. They are celebrating a brilliant victory. They are celebrating you. Admiral Kaido looks at you. His face is filled with awe. He calls you the savior of the 7th Fleet. The cheers feel hollow. They echo in your ears. You did not just see ships on a screen. You felt them. You felt the moment the trap was sprung. You felt the shock and terror of the Vor. You guided your people to victory. But you also guided them to a massacre. You look at the tactical display. The red icons of the enemy ships blink out. One by one by one. Each one is a silent scream in your mind. This is the weight of victory. It is heavier than you ever imagined. In the aftermath, they have you sift through the wreckage, not with salvage crews, but with your mind. They want you to search the debris field for survivors, For intelligence, you drift your consciousness through the twisted metal, through the cold, silent hulks of the Vor ships. It is a graveyard, a monument to your own tactical genius. You brush against a flicker of life, a fading mind in a crippled fighter craft. The pilot is still alive. Barely. His ship is dead. His body is broken. He is waiting for the end. Driven by a grim curiosity, a need to understand, you push your mind further. You do not just observe. You connect. You touch the mind of the alien pilot. The universe dissolves. You are no longer chance. You are thrown into the consciousness of a Vor. It is a torrent of alien senses. You see in colors you cannot name. You smell pressures and radiation. His thoughts are not words. They are a complex dance of emotion, image, and intent. But you understand them perfectly. You feel his shock at the ambush failing. You feel his terror as the human fleet opened fire. You see an image in his mind, a memory. He is standing on a world with a violet sky. 2 small moons hang in the air. He is with his mate, with his young. You feel his love for them. It is a fierce, desperate love. It is a love as pure as any human's. You feel his final thought. It is not hatred for his enemy. It is a deep, soul-crushing sorrow. A sorrow that he will never see the violet sky again, that he has failed his family. Then, the connection breaks. A final torpedo from a human ship finishes his fighter. His mind vanishes. A light goes out in the universe. You are thrown back into your own body. You gasp for air in the silent war room. The generals are looking at you, waiting for your report. But you cannot speak. You have just looked into the face of your enemy, and you saw a reflection of yourself. You saw a father, a husband, someone who fought for the same reasons your own people do, for survival, for home. The Vor are not monsters. They are just people. People your victory just turned into ghosts. This knowledge changes everything. The war is not as simple as you were taught, and your role in it is now a source of horror.